There was a time long ago where I used to play this, Space Engineers, and it's where my channel truly started to grow. And so I wanted to take some time today to visit an old friend, one that brought me where I am today. As there's been a new update, the Warfare update, and I want to show it to you guys. Well, hey there, thanks for welcoming me back. So, I want to take you guys through a couple... Potatoes! You're here too?
Hello, the Morphilages. Always waiting for umbrellas. See you long no time.
Long time no see! Have you been staying out of trouble?
I'm good, Potato.
Good. Now, hey, I've got to make this video. We can talk a little bit after I make it. How's that sound? And catch up on things.
Cannot play catch.
Sound alright?
Talking, yes.
Alright, you go ahead and go back to mining and helping out. I'm gonna show these guys the space.
Fancy boat, birdie, boat.
If you guys don't know who that was, you can always check out my roleplay series I did a few years back, which will explain much about that little mining drone. But anyway, let's cut to the chase here. I built a brand new ship from scratch to learn a lot of the new features that have been added into Space Engineers since I last played around 2 years ago. I was pleasantly surprised to learn that it's not just new blocks that they've added like new thrusters and armor panels, but also really awesome quality of life things like the ability to build your own custom turrets using a turret block that they just added into the game. Something that in the past would have required a mod or a script to accomplish. Let me give you guys a quick peek at how this works. Basically, you start with an advanced rotor which can use the conveyor system, and then you change out the head for a small head. And then you can add on one of the new hinge blocks that they added in a recent update. After that, you just need to have one of the new turret blocks attached to the grid that the turret is attached to. So you can have it either on the turret itself or somewhere on the ship. Personally, I like to put it on the turret because it makes it easier to access the turret's properties if I want to find out exactly which weapons are attached. To set it up, it's super easy. You just have to go inside of the turret block, scroll down and find the azimuth and elevation and assign the appropriate rotor and hinge. You can also assign a camera if you like, but you don't need it if you're just going to use this as an AI turret. Next, you just select the weapons that you want that are attached to this turret, and it will automatically know which weapons to use. Finally, you can toggle between AI on or off, so you can use this by yourself or let it shoot by itself, which is actually really effective. To manually operate the turret, you actually don't need a remote control block anymore. You just need to access that turret block and it'll automatically give you control of it if you need to. And it's, like I said, amazingly effective. After that, there are a number of other really cool blocks that they added in the Warfare update, like a bunch of cannons that can be attached to your big ship, which also use conveyors, and even blocks that can attach to your small ship, which are also really effective, especially the autocannons. I found those to be the most effective because they don't have quite as much recoil and they deliver a huge amount of damage. I also really love the new Warfare 2 thrusters for the big and small ships. They look better than I think any of the other previous thrusters that they've had. And of course, what space game is complete without a railgun? Yeah, that thing is a beast, but it takes a huge amount of energy. Next, they also added a bunch of awesome new aesthetic blocks and quality of life blocks for the interiors of ships, which I want to show you guys next on the ship that I built. Also notice these really cool catwalk and light models that they added in. These are not mods, these are actually part of one of the DLCs you can get for Space Engineers. In the rear of the ship, I added a set of crew quarters so you guys can see some of the beds, the toilets, and the storage modules, including some of the cool new lights, which are really cool. And of course, what ship is complete without an engineering section, which includes one of the new reactor blocks. Takes up a lot more space, but it looks fantastic. And you can also see some of the new conveyor blocks, which are tubes. Those are also really neat, and they make rebuilding a lot more fun. They also added some window blocks, which fit really well with some of the half blocks that they added earlier on. Of course, new door blocks, hallway blocks, and even luxury and lounging blocks, which can make the interiors of your crew quarters or meeting rooms look a lot cooler. They're pretty much all functional, but now let's step onto the bridge, which I feel is one of the coolest places on the entire ship. Here I decided to go with a multi-tier bridge with the captain standing high above the pilot and the gunnery position, as well as a holo table which can display your enemy ship or your own ship to see what your damage status is. It's also got a number of those new window blocks, which gives you a nice view out into the world, but gives you some protection. But if you really need extra protection, you can also cover up the main viewport with one of their cool new blast door blocks, which have windows in them. They're smaller, but you can still see through them if you position the cockpit right. There are just so many possibilities with all of these new blocks that they've added into the base game. But how about instead of just telling you guys about these new warfare blocks, we take this ship out for a spin and see what she can do against a real target. And along the way, you guys can see just how much better Space Engineers runs than even the last time I played 2 years ago. Well, I'd say my ship did a pretty good job against Keen's stock red ship. Wouldn't you? Pretty much nothing left of this ship except for maybe its power systems, which I guess I missed. Yeah, I can see the reactor in there, for sure. Well, dead in the waters. Wait. Potatoes, I told you the Mark II's not ready yet.
Potatoes makes potato hole.